Well, we got 7 minutes of something. First episode for 2023. Today is actually New Year's Day. And we talked a bit about everyone's got New Year's resolutions, life resolutions. But today, what we want to talk about is how are you going to maintain discipline? So I'll set the timer. We got 7 minutes. And Tim, I'll let you start out, of course. And just, I mean, you're one of the most disciplined individuals that I know. How do you stay disciplined when you have that goal? And even say we're talking that one primary New Year's resolution that people have. How do you encourage people to stay disciplined?
So, so first off, thank you for saying that. So what I do is prioritize your goals. I mean, you always want to have like that one goal that's like not a non-negotiable, right? So like maybe three top goals that you're going to do daily, or at least work towards on a regular and consistent basis, and then you'll have other maybe like another three goals that are not as important, but you still want to get done. But whatever those goals are, you want to make sure that no matter what you do, you set time aside and do them or work on them, or wherever you can find pockets of time throughout your day or throughout your week that you really start to buckle down and hammer home on them. And where I'm at right now, for me, myself personally, is that I am to a point now where a lot of the resolutions, if you want to even call them that, a lot of those goals and disciplines that I have had set that I still do today, I set many years ago, and they're a lot easier to do now because they're habitual. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that everybody brushes their teeth every day, and I'm sure that we don't deviate from that, right? And we've probably been doing that, I hope, for a very long time. And it's something that we just do it, you know. And we want to get to the point where it's like, if fitness is your goal, if health and wellness is your goal, if eating better is your goal, you want to get to that point where it's like, it's 5 p.m., it's 5 a.m., it's time to do the workout, you know, and you make no bones about it and you do it. And it becomes that simple, right? Just like brushing your teeth. Like, I don't think there's many times where people skip things like that.
Right. And just simply making it happen.
Mm-hmm. I
So,
think I think the other two, I don't mean to cut you off, but the
no,
other
it's all
thing
good.
that really works for me too is that if you have like shorter time domains, instead of like making like an hour, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, just start with that. And I mean, I know that you've been here before too, where it's like, I think the biggest challenge for any sort of goal is to get started on it. I know for me, like when I write estimates or when I sit down and write anything at all, it's the biggest challenge for me to just get my ass in the chair and sit down and start working on it. And then once I get into the chair and I start moving that pencil or whatever, it's a lot easier to stay there. And then once I get past that point of fighting with myself and wanting to procrastinate and getting up and all doing all these different things that I want to do, I want to stay there for longer, so it becomes less of a challenge to stay in the chair as opposed to it as is like getting into the chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And once you're there, you can get in your flow
Mm-hmm.
and scheduling that time. Like you said, 5 minute increments, 15-minute increments, whatever works. Doesn't have to be an hour, doesn't have to be even 45 minutes, can be something really small. And once you're in your groove, you're in your groove. We
Mm-hmm.
talked, I think I talked before about the being a pinball and pinball machine. Sometimes I feel like that when, when I'm at work, I can zone in. Then when I leave work and say I'm in my personal space, I can have a goal that I want to accomplish later on in the day. But all of a sudden I'm thrown off in different directions. And it's about maintaining that focus, staying on course. And we've talked about the plane and the boat. Planes are off course 80-85% of the time. So
Right. Right.
maintaining that course and moving towards accomplishing that goal. And then, like we're talking about here, that resolution.
So do
And
you find when you're at work, do you find like you're more scattered, or do you find like you're more like honed in and focused?
focused.
Yeah, right. And why do you think that is?
Because I can get in my flow and I know exactly what I need to do for each section of my day. and I know what I need to do. I get it done, and I move on to the next section of my day.
Hmm.
Whereas at home, it's a lot of plates that are spinning, and I'm learning, and a lot of times it's just letting people around me know I need to take the next 15 minutes to do this, or I need to take the next 20 minutes and do this. And then once let people aware of what, or make people aware of what I'm doing, a lot of times I can get that same focus. But like you said, it's a matter of scheduling it out and making that time so that you're able to make it happen.
Right.
One thing that's helped me too is scheduling my day the night before. And if I schedule my day the night before, focusing on that goal, a lot of times I'll have that goal written in my pocket, and I'll just pull that goal out of my pocket and look at it, read it, verbalize it throughout the day so that I can maintain that focus as well. But scheduling my day the night before has been pretty darn helpful.
Yeah, same for me. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's written out the night before, so you wake up the next day, all you have to do is refer to what you've written out the night before. The day is scripted, so then you just carry out those actions to make what you've written down happen. I find that that's very effective in alleviating some of that frenetic pinball situation that you were talking about earlier. Is that what I was driving at? Is when you're at work, like, you know what to do. One is because you've done it for how long have you been doing what you're doing?
22 years.
Yeah, right, exactly. And that's about how long I've been in construction too. So it's like I know what to do. It's there's no question anymore about what is, any of that. Like, you know what to do. You're also like committed into providing a certain level of efficiency, effectiveness, and quality to the people that you provide service to, right? So I think that what happens is that and I'll speak for myself here. I can't speak for anybody, but for anybody else. But I suspect that what happens is that we commit to others before we commit to us. So then we work on achieving other people's goals because we've always done that. So then when we start to work on our own, we're like not really held accountable or committed to it. Because, like, let's face it, man, like, if you want to get six pack abs or you want to get like a cleaner and healthier bill of health, like, you're not going to get a reward system in the form of a paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, those are maintenance programs, and the rewards are going to be less like financial and less tangible, as they're going to be like, hey, the doctor said I don't have to be on cholesterol meds anymore, or I have to go buy a new wardrobe now because everything from last year no longer fits me, right? And those rewards that we get are not always out there as much as they are in here as their accomplishments for us. And I have this striking suspicion that for a lot of people in the world, that it's hard for them to uphold commitments to themselves when they're being pulled in a lot of other different directions that are outside of themselves, to really begin to let go of some of the outside commitments that they have to honor their own. Do
I'd
you feel like
agree.
you're challenged with that too?
Yes. Yes. Because everyone around you has goals for you to attain,
Mm-hmm.
and their goals become your goals. And sometimes their goals have to become your goals. Other times their goals don't need to be your goals. So you got to pick and choose. And especially as we shift into a new year, one of the things a lot of people I'm watching on Facebook and Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, people are focusing on what they need to focus on. They're not focusing on what other people are telling them to focus on. They're focusing on things that make them happy, things that bring joy to their life, things that they're passionate about doing, not what other people are saying. So, and that's just it, is you want to be on a path where you're feeling like you're filling your cup up to overflowing, so then you can take care of everyone around you with the overflow. So that was about 7 minutes. Flies
Nice.
by, man. Now, do you want to end real quick with, say, one of your primary New Year's, right? I call them life resolutions, because I mean, it's New Year, but what's one of your primary resolutions right now?
Boundaries. I mean, I feel like that's popping up a lot. Boundaries and allowing other people to contribute to me the way that I contribute to them, which is more along the lines of like being nurtured by others, you know, which it really sounds, and what I even like to hear myself even say it, it sounds really, it's foreign. Like it's a weird thing to say, like, oh, I want other people to nurture me, you know, but it's like, we can't just go around taking care of everybody else. Like we have to let people show up for us too, you know? And then like we said before about having other people's commitments and other people's goals that we work towards with them, is like, we have to have boundaries to say, look, I want to help you achieve your goal, but you know, mine are also as equally important, if not more important. And I, you know, I got to honor my own boundaries and say, I've helped you enough for today.
Mhm.
And that's a challenge, man. You know, like, you know, honoring your own boundaries, because they're important, because if you don't, then you start to bleed your own energy, and then you start to get resentful, and then it just sets off a whole chain reaction of events and things. It's like it could become problematic, you know.
And
So
does not serve you. When
yeah, and again, dude, a lot of times those things are not tangible things. They're not things that you can see or like reach out and physically touch. So to be aware of when a boundary needs to be set, or when it needs to be honored, or when it needs to be reminded to somebody, like, no, dude, I said I wasn't going to do this, and you're still asking me to do this, and I said I wasn't going to. I'm not going to. Right? Like it's a challenge, man. It's going to be new and different for me, so I'm looking forward to it.
it's cool. We were out for a run yesterday, yeah, New Year's Eve, and at a portion part of our run, everyone took as many rocks as they needed to, but each rock resembled one of the things that they were going to get rid of, a habit that they're going to get rid of from the previous year or years.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my primary ones right now is to get rid of and to replace the habit of snacking. I think
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about this before. It's like it's hanging on, man. This snacking habit is just hanging on. And I threw a rock in the water yesterday to resemble that aspect of my life, me just crushing that. So that's one of my resolutions, is to say,
Throwing it away, right? Throwing away the habit of snacking. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. The
drink water.
subconscious.
Is that
I was gonna say the subconscious likes that kind of stuff. Like when you empower objects to like release yourself of stuff like that, it sends a message to it. Like it clings onto it for whatever reason. So it's pretty cool that you guys did that.
yeah, it felt good. But and I like I said, I you inspire me in how disciplined you are in what the foods you put in your body and how you stay hydrated. And I want to learn from people like yourself to say, just do it, man. Only we can decide what we listen to, what we put in our mouths to consume, what foods we eat, what we drink. Only we can decide to do that. So it's a matter of making the proper decisions.
That's right, man. Takes a level of responsibility.
Cool. And I think part of the reason that we keep this to 7 minutes, because you and I have been chatting for a long time now, and our conversations can last hours. So we like to do just that 7 minutes, and then we'll build on these, maybe multi-part to some of these. And yeah, we appreciate everyone stopping in, and any feedback you got, let us know. Any questions you have, let us know. And let's roll right into 2023.
Yeah, let's keep it going, man. It's good seeing you, Chad.
You too. Thanks so much.
Welcome, brother. See you.